What's up, guys? Welcome into another episode of Jamming with J Money, man. We here is Wednesday, a little short card. Usually on a Wednesday we have a full card, man. But hey, it's Wednesday, 7 game card. We ready to get to some money, man. We had people in the chat waiting on us, man. But I'm talking about 20 minutes before the show. I went and hit the chat, see what's up with them boys. We already had 7 people waiting, man. We appreciate you, M. Frico, Stephen Montez, Arsenio McFadden, Reese. We appreciate all y'all, man. They say they're ready to get to some money. What about you guys? What about you, Jordan? You ready to get to some money today?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Second winning day in a row yesterday. I ended up jumping on as soon as I got off the call with you guys yesterday. I ended up jumping on the Heat first quarter at 2.5 and the first half at 4. I'm feeling great. You know, I didn't jump on a full game, thanks God, because they gave you guys a sweat last night on that full game. I put my kids to bed, did a little work, came back, looked at that game in the fourth quarter. It was single digits. I was like, what in the world happened? But that was the main reason I made money last night. Kind of a mixed card on the other sides. Cash Phoenix first quarter money line, ATS, and the under on that one, but then they lost me the first half and on the under on that one. So a little bit of a mixed bag, but came out ahead. So feeling pretty good heading into today, trying to make 3 in a row. What about you, Junior? How'd you end up yesterday?
I did all right. I lost my first quarter plays. First quarter, first half with Utah. I jumped on the second half, -8.5. But most of my money was on that Miami play once I saw that news with Detroit getting in late. I was actually laughing at one point in the game. I wasn't fucking laughing at the end of the game, I'll tell you that. Them boys are trying to play with my heart yesterday, but came through. I'm ready to make some money today. Let's get at it.
Yeah, you're right, man. That's crazy how I saw you tweet me as well on that, Junior. And it's kind of crazy, man. That he did everything in their power not to cover that game, and almost looked fishy there to me. To be honest, I mean, we know that the reports come out. These guys aren't shy about this. It's all over Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Money piling in on the Heat, and then you see them making a second half run. We know where, in theory, the Pistons should have. In theory, the first quarter, first half, they had a chance. Technically, would have been early. You know what I'm saying? With them being on a back to back, they're supposed to get even more tired in the second half, and that's when they were trying to make their run. It almost seemed like the Heat, you know what I'm saying? Hey, like them boys had a hidden plan, and they were like, oh, we're just gonna win this game by 5-6 points, and you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the win, but we ain't cover spread. They end up covering the final score is the only thing that matters. They end up getting a dub there, first quarter, first half, and full game. End up cashing. I just cashed the first half and full game on the Heat. I wish I hopped on the first quarter. This shit was easy. I got messed off on the under there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you, Junior, there in that last corner, you know what I'm saying, 61 points to screw me off there under there. We was looking good, man. And the third quarter as well, 68 points. That second half was just absolutely brutal for the under. It was looking real good. I was on the Cavs yesterday plus the points. That was a nice winner there. They took the 76ers down to the wire. Everybody was on OKC yesterday, man. I told you guys, it was Pacers or nothing for me. I'm mad I didn't hop on them, man. And the line movement scared me. Obviously, all the money with the sharp money was coming on OKC. Doesn't always matter, but it just kind of scared me away, knowing that the Pacers, missing a few players, didn't have Miles Turner, didn't have Lamb. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I got to stay away from it. They went and smashed OKC ass, man. I was mad. Everybody, though, what I saw was on OKC. Plus the 3, plus the money line. Like I say, it went down from 3 to plus 1.5. So, I mean, to minus 1.5. So, a lot of people were on them. The Knicks, I was on the Knicks, ended up losing out in the fourth quarter. Kobe White had 23 points in that fourth quarter with 7 threes. So, he pretty much single-handedly killed my Knicks bet there. It was looking pretty good pretty much the whole game, and then getting outscored 35-17. They did exactly what the Knicks did to them in their house, where the Bulls were up 3 straight quarters, and then the Knicks took over in that fourth quarter, 33-18. They pretty much did that exact same thing. So you can't be mad at them. I did have in the back of my mind that it was a revenge game. The Bulls there, in my opinion, they got pretty lucky there because, like I say, the Knicks came to fight for the coach there early in that game, but they just came flat in the fourth quarter. I was all over the Nets yesterday, man. Had the Nets. I had the under net spot too. There was another one where the second half really, you know what I'm saying, the whole game really was going over, but the second half really kind of gave me some hope. And then if I could have got like a 50-point or 45-point fourth quarter, I would end up cashing under. The Nets, you know what I'm saying, their offense sputtered in the second half, but in the first half, they were humming, man. They were up 15 in that first half, and it made me feel good, but they almost pitched it away late. Got the cash with the Nets, lost on the under in that spot, stayed away from Atlanta and Denver. Trae Young went off on them. Couldn't believe they ended up winning that game straight up. A lot of people was on the Suns yesterday. The Lakers went in there and smacked them, did what they were supposed to do, and I did cash with the Portland and Sacramento under in that spot. A lot of people were taking playing Portland. I was telling you guys, it's Kings or nothing in this spot. They can still win. Portland is not. They're not looking like a deep NBA team right now. The Kings went and pretty much got that one with ease. That game flew under the total, man. That was a nice catcher as well. So positive on the day, but you know what I'm saying? Well, I need some of them bad beats to go my way next time, man. I know you feeling me on that one, Junior. Well, any thoughts on that late game? Did y'all see Trae Young, Junior?
No, I actually didn't catch that game. I went out last night, so I usually watch the games in the morning. There's a big ass snowstorm here, so I've been dealing with that. It's ridiculous, but I'm gonna watch them in the afternoon. I try to watch as much as possible. You know what I mean? I usually actually watch the first quarter and fourth quarter of every game, unless it's a blowout. Then I just figure out where the game was last close and kind of see how it got out of hand. Just try to watch as much as possible. So I'll see that later.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't watch all the games. I'll see the highlights. I might go back and just like you said, I'll go back and watch the game the next day. I have League Pass, so I'll record them. If I have a lot of money on the game, I can't watch it live. I just can't. I want the team that I'm betting against to miss every shot, and I want the team that I'm betting on to make everything. And obviously, we know it ain't gonna work that way. So it's very stressful for me to watch the games when I have a lot of money on just regular small wager. I don't really care. But if it's a nice size bet, it's tough for me to watch it, man. Unless it's a blowout. We up by 10, 20. And then, hey, I can watch it then, baby. For some reason, when I'm watching, we start losing, man. Let's go get into some games today. Hold on, I want to say what's up to some guys in the chat, man. They got some good points. Steven Montez. We got Yu-Chang Yu here. We got Nagels, Nets. Let's see who else we got in here. Nasty Nate. What's up, Nasty Nate? We got Goku, Salim, Jamil Stone, Viper NB. What's up, Viper? We got Swifty Mac, Charlie Gerhardt. What's up, guys? Jackpot Teeny, I think PJ Cleaners. What's up, guys? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button, man. It goes a long way if you guys don't mind. Let's go ahead and get into this first game, man. We got some intriguing games today. This first game of the day, we got the 76ers and the Orlando Magic. Man, this must be something up in this one. This line had opened up at 76ers -3. Now we're looking at Orlando, the favorite, sitting at -1 here. We know they're at the house. 76ers third game in 4 nights. They got Simmons back they got Simmons back last night. Horford sat out with rested. You know what I'm saying? That made me think, damn, who they resting on the first night of back-to-back? They almost lost to the Cavs last night. I was on the Cavs. I was glad. Some tells me that Embiid is probably going to sit here. Simmons probably will play, you know what I'm saying, a back-and-back maybe. He was coming off an injury as well, so we don't know here. Still might have some shoulder soreness. Al Horford going to be back in, but some tells me that Embiid is going to rest here. That's the only way I can see this line moving to Orlando -1. I know that the public is going to be on 76ers here. Why is this line moving? Any look on this game, Junior?
Yeah, it's one of my official plays of the day. I got the under 208.5. One of the benefits of putting out an article first thing in the morning is that you get to jump on these early lines. So I was confident with the under 208.5. I would still bet the under 204 because obviously, you know, a couple big players are going to be out. I feel like the way the 76ers play, Orlando can slow that down. Obviously, I still favor the 76ers, but not with these injuries. I'm talking about with a fully healthy lineup. So I'm all over the under for obvious reasons. As for the situation as it finds itself right now, I guess I would lean Orlando just because they're at home. But the 76ers, I don't know. I wouldn't touch. Actually, you know what? Forget what I just said. I would not touch the side. I would just stick to the total in this. And the under 204 to me still looks pretty good. Both of these teams, yesterday the 76ers scored 98 points against the Cavs. You're telling me that Orlando, who has a much better defense, can't hold them under 100 without 2 of their best players. So I definitely lean all the way towards the under here.
Yeah, this is one I'm probably going to stay away from the sides too. The total is a little bit intriguing though. Not only have we seen the Steam just pummel the under in this, like Junior was talking about, but the first half of the first quarter, I think the first half, this is the first time I've seen a first half under 100 points all season. So I'm kind of interested in taking the over in that just for that fact, because Philly still has the ability to play up in pace, and if they force Orlando to play to their style of basketball, I think it could be a pretty sharp play. Especially if Embiid sits, because we talked about this before. When he sits, it does seem like Philly pushes the pace a little bit more, and they play a little less half-court style. Al Horford at the center spot and Tobias Harris at the 4, however they do it. If Embiid does sit, it could be pretty intriguing that they could potentially not only have worse defense, but also play up in pace a little bit more. So I'm intrigued by that. Not really sure if I'm ready to lock one in on that yet, because like Junior was talking about, this game could be like 85-90 at the end of it. So probably a stay away spot for me on the sides. Going to take a look at that first half total, but it's a pretty nice size card. It's not a huge card, but I think this is like probably one of my least favorite games of the night, just because of the uncertainty of Embiid and the fact that Orlando just has not looked great on offense at all. So there's a couple of things keeping me away from that right now. So probably a game I'm going to stay away from, but I definitely would stay away from the sides in this one here, unless we know for a fact that Embiid is either going to play or going to sit.
Exactly, yeah, and I'll be honest with you guys. I'm looking towards Orlando here, especially in the first half. You see them in the last game. The past 3 games, they have scored over 100 points. This in the past game versus the Pacers, they looked damn good in that first half. They scored 33 in the first quarter, 27 in the second quarter. So they had 60 at the first half, and it just absolutely fell apart. In the second half, we know that Indiana does have a clamp down type of defense. They can clamp down on the Magic, almost like the same type of team as the 76ers, except for the 76ers have way more bigs than them. But the Pacers tried to start run up and down the court, you know what I'm saying, with the Magic, and they didn't really like that. They didn't, you know what I'm saying, like you say, if they speed the Magic up here, it'll look totally different. It just scares me that obviously third game in 4 nights for the 76ers. Like you say, they just got a scare last night from the Cavs. That was a game that they had to work for. It wasn't going to be that easy for them. The Cavs took them down to the wire. Damn near had a chance to win that game, you know what I'm saying, till the 76ers came back late. But third game in 4 nights, traveling from home down there to Orlando, where they're going to be ready off a loss. You know what I'm saying? The nice little home stand for Orlando. It's almost these are games where, you know what I'm saying, the Magic, if they want to try to stay in the playoff race, man, they got to start piling up some wins. They're not looking so good right now, man. I think this is a spot where they could catch the 76ers sleeping. I remember last year, man, when the 76ers had just got Jimmy Butler, everybody and their mama hopped on the 76ers, and then Orlando ended up going to get the cash, and I was on the Magic in this spot. The home team is 4-0 straight up in ATS the past 4, or no, actually Orlando is actually 3-1 the past 4 ATS, but the home team is 4-0 straight up in the past 4. I'm liking the Magic here at the house, man. I know it's not going to be a popular side or anything, and I definitely like the Magic even more in the first half because I know the last game they fell apart. This is a spot where I'm pretty sure I'll be on the Magic first half and full game regardless of who's sitting for the 76ers. I just like the spot for them. I think defense can keep you in any game. And like I say, they have scored more than 100 points, something that they hadn't done all season. They've scored 100 the past 3 games. So maybe their offense is starting to click. Aaron Gordon is starting to play a little bit better. He's starting to hit his shots. We know that Jonathan Isaac is a damn good defender down there. I always like a team with defense. I think they can stay in any game. And with this line movement here, I think it has me thinking that the Magic win this game straight up. So I know you guys are liking a total more. This is a total that I'm staying away from. Like I say, it's moved a total of 4 points. It was one that I was thinking was an intriguing under because I think that I know that the 76ers are a great defensive team. The only thing is they hadn't been showing it lately. They hadn't really been playing great defense. So I'm staying away from that total, and I'm actually going with the side here. I like the Magic. So any closing remarks on this game, guys, or we can go ahead and get to the next one. I do want to mention something about this Grizzlies and Hornets game. We got injuries today, man. It's one thing I tell you guys. Pay attention to the injury report. Like yesterday, we see Tyler Hero moving out this last minute. I had no idea that I did because he was questionable. But like today, Dwayne Bacon sitting out for the Hornets. Now, I think that's a pretty big deal to me, man. Are you guys liking the Grizzlies, Jordan?
Yeah, obviously, when we talk about the Grizzlies, we have to preface with they are a first half team and they've fallen apart in the second half. So I think that would be where I would lean if I am taking something on this game. I will always stand for the Grizzlies, but I am a little scared off at this point because we've talked about it countless times on the show, probably at least half a dozen times, that every time we start overlooking Charlotte, they surprise us and end up killing our bets against them. So I'm probably going to end up laying off this game. But if it did have to pick a side, it would definitely be the Grizzlies in the first quarter and the first half. I will probably stay away from that first that full game line. The total ticking up, I think, I wouldn't chase that, but I also do think that this game could very much get up and down. And Bacon being out, I think, like Jay mentioned, is undervalued a little bit just because of his defense. The Grizzlies do have some pretty good guards, a pretty good guard depth, even without Grayson Allen, who looks like he's going to miss another game tonight. They could give Charlotte some trouble in the backcourt and on the wing a little bit here, depending on who Miles Bridges guards. And I don't think anybody on this roster is qualified to stop Ja Morant or Jaren Jackson Jr. for that matter. So I do think the Grizzlies are a good bet. I would not touch them on the full game.
I could definitely see that. Any thoughts on this game, Junior? Before I break it down, what I like in it.
Yeah, I don't have anything on this game, but I'm a little bit biased towards Memphis. I know they're not a good team, but I like this young duo that they got. I wish that Jaren Jackson would grab more rebounds, but everything else he does really well for a big man. Ja Morant, listen, just like Jordan said, who on Charlotte could really stop Ja Morant? Like when Ja Morant was in the draft, a lot of people like to compare his game to Westbrook, but he's not like Westbrook at all. If you look at the shots that he takes, the decisions that he makes, he's turning the ball over a lot. But even though it's going down, I think he's down to 4. He was like over 5 at one point. He's a rookie, right? He's still trying to figure things out, and he played in a small conference school. But if you really look at how he plays, he shoots a really high percentage. Even from 3, I know he only takes 2 threes a game. Sorry, but I look at it this way: he's smart enough to know not to jack up like 5, 6 threes a game until he gets more comfortable. I really like him as a player, and I feel like in this specific game, if I'm Ja Morant and I'm Jaren Jackson, I'm definitely not scared of Charlotte, right? I'm coming out with all kinds of confidence, and I think why not Memphis? Charlotte's not looking good right now. They lost like 3 games in a row. They're getting back to where they're supposed to be, which is losing. I lean Memphis actually in this game, especially in the first half.
So couple things here. I'm not a big fan of Memphis. They were winless on the road. They went over there and stunned the Spurs. Ja Morant only had 9 points in that game. The final score is the only thing that mattered. They end up getting a dub in that one. You look at the Hornets, they're 8-2 ATS the last 10 versus Memphis. To be honest with you guys, before Bacon was ruled out, I liked Charlotte in this spot. They've lost 3 straight games. They went over there and fought hard versus 76ers. Everybody thought 76ers was going to blow them out. You know what I'm saying? Game versus the Pelicans, they were in that game at the house and ended up losing that one late. You know what I'm saying? Obviously let Boston run all over them. I'm pretty sure that the Hornets are looking at the Grizzlies like this is a game that we can win. You saw the Hornets go defeated in preseason, you know what I'm saying, and didn't win the game, go win winless. The one game that they could win, they went over there and smacked the Grizzlies by 20. And I know it was just preseason. Everybody was playing. It's not like anyone was sitting. The Grizzlies actually had more players. They had Grayson Allen coming off the bench. It's a tricky spot for me, especially with Dwayne Bacon sitting out. I'm not touching it. But if you look at this game, and it scares me that Rozier hadn't really looked as good. I do think that he can contain Ja Morant, though. I can tell you that. Rozier is a defensive guard. His offense hadn't been there. One thing scary about the Hornets is they got their player off the bench is leading the team in points and assists. You know what I'm saying? They got Devontae Graham leading the team with 18 points per game and 7 assists a game. I mean, the way I'm looking at it, damn, does Rozier need to move to the bench and they start Devontae Graham? And I'm telling you guys, Devontae Graham is a defensive guard as well from Kansas, and he can contain Ja Morant as well. That's the main thing you look at. My thing is, and Jaren Jackson as well. Jaren Jackson and Miles Bridges played on the same college team at Michigan State. There's a little rivalry going between them. They were talking trash to each other before in that preseason game. So it's just a lot of moving parts in this game. The way that the Hornets play, they play feisty. They're a better team at the house. If it was in Memphis, I'd be all over Memphis here. The fact that it's on the road, Memphis off their first road win, a huge win at that. It kind of spells down for a letdown spot here. Bacon being ruled out, the line hadn't moved whatsoever. I'm telling you guys, this is a Hornets spot. It's Hornets or nothing here for me. I think that the Grizzlies are in a letdown spot. Even though they're an up-and-coming team, I like their young core. All coming off their first road win and going on the road once again to Hornets, where I think really the Hornets are a better team than the Grizzlies, to be honest with you. Maybe not in the long run, but right now, I think so. They're off 3 straight losses, almost a must-win spot for them. Like I said, Memphis, they don't really win over there in Charlotte. Last time they won over there was in 2016, obviously with different Grizzlies teams. The game in the preseason, it will go back to my head, man. Like I say, in theory, it's a revenge game, but that showed me Charlotte went over there to Memphis and blew them out by 20 points. That will definitely stay in the back of my head. And Rozier did whatever the hell he wanted in that game, and it didn't like Ja Morant could really do, you know what I'm saying, much against Rozier. Then they got Devontae Graham coming off the bench. I'm telling you guys, man, this is a Hornets spot. It's Hornets or nothing for me. If you like the Grizzlies, I would say maybe look at that first at the first half. They've been covering those first halves, but But I'm telling you guys, man, this is a Hornet spot. You see them favor here for a reason. That's really the only thing I have to say about this game. Just go back and look at that preseason game. Look how they went and smacked the Grizzlies around. But I'm staying away from it without Bacon. I have to. What you got to say, Jordan?
I was just going to say we got some breaking news. Joel Embiid officially ruled out tonight, and Anthony Davis has been officially ruled out tonight. We will get to the latter one here in just a minute, I am sure, because I know we all have thoughts on that Lakers game. But it looks like Embiid is going to be out tonight, so I think I am going to jump on the Magic here -1.
Yeah, see, I told you. I already knew that he was going to be out, man. The line moved 4 points, you know what I'm saying, to the Magic, who we know aren't really, you know what I'm saying, too good. Looks pretty fishy there, man. Let's go ahead and get to this Clippers and Houston game. Pretty tough matchup here. Games that I like to watch, not really like to bet on, you know what I'm saying, as far as the size perspective. I'm hearing some rumors saying that Westbrook might not play, but, I mean, I hadn't seen anything official on it. I mean, it's his birthday, man, or was his birthday yesterday. I couldn't see that. We know other injuries though. Eric Gordon out, man. That's a big deal to me. Coming out the bench, Gordon be pulling the shit out them threes, man. And he can play some defense as well. He'll get into the lane, draw fouls. That's a big deal to me, man. I mean, the Clippers hadn't looked too great on the road. They've really been like a different team, you know what I'm saying, on the road than at the house. They played 7 games at the house already and 3 on the road, only 1 and 2 on the road. It's a tough spot for me, man. If I would be looking towards it in big games like this that I know that could be, you know what I'm saying, a potential playoff matchup, I always looking at unders. Not really a big fan of taking unders with the Rockets, maybe in the right spot. Missing Gordon, there's definitely missing about 10, 12 points a game, maybe even possibly 20 points, the way he can go off at any time. In this game, if I had to play it, it would be under or nothing for me, but these are the type of games that I love to stay away from. Any look on this game, Junior?
No, this is a stay away for me. I see this as a 50-50 game. I lean Clippers here, though, in this spot. If I can get the Clippers plus points, I'm taking that. I think the Clippers have shown that they could play at any style. Like last week, they played a game against the Bucks. I think it was like one of the fastest paced games. Like that game had more possessions than that crazy 159-158 game that the Rockets played with the Wizards. I think in that game against the Bucks, both the Clippers and the Bucks had 115 possessions each. So however the Houston Rockets want to play it, the Clippers can do that. The Clippers have a more efficient superstar than the Rockets do, especially if Westbrook's going to be out. And that's not to shit on James Harden. If I'm going between Kawhi and James Harden, I'm going Kawhi. I just like the Clippers more because I feel like the Clippers are more versatile of a team. If you want to go defensive, they can go defensive. If you want to speed it up, they can speed it up. The Rockets only play one way. If I can get the Clippers plus the points, that's what I'm taking.
Yeah, they got the better bench too. What you liking, Jordan?
Yeah, these are 2 of my best plays of the day, I think. I'm on the first quarter and the first half under on this one. We talked about it a little bit before the show, but I'll kind of give them insight as Junior and I were touching on before we went live here. The Rockets' defense is actually getting better. Their last 5 games, if you look at the last 5 games for all 30 teams, they're 7th in defensive efficiency. And guess who's first? The Los Angeles Clippers. Like Jay just touched on, this game is going to have some playoff-style atmosphere. I think if Westbrook does sit, which I don't think he will, but if that is the case, I think that helps our case even more because we've touched on it before on this show. When he's out, he's kind of the main engine that drives the fast-pacedness of this offense. And their pace has been going down just a little bit as well over the last 5 games. They've been playing Clint Capella more, which I've been screaming for all season. D'Antoni's finally giving him the minutes he deserves. They're easily their best defender, and I think that he is going to play a critical role tonight in keeping Los Angeles off the boards. If that's the case, I think 60 points in the first quarter and 120.5 is way too much for this game. I could see the Rockets kind of pushing the pace a little bit more and trying to get the Clippers out of their comfort zone, but I think the Clippers are well maintained to kind of make this a game where they can control the pace even though they are on the road. And one thing we haven't mentioned, which is another factor in this that we have not discussed, is Paul George could make his return tonight. It was rumored a day or 2 ago that this was the game he was going to make his return. He's officially questionable. I would not be surprised at all if he plays. If that's the case, it's just another defender they can throw at James Harden. And I think if between him and Kawhi, I think they could really, really limit James Harden in this spot. I could see him shooting the ball pretty poorly, even though they are at home. And like Jay touched on, they're missing two pretty important players here especially Eric Gordon being one of their main three-point threats there once James Harden and Russell Westbrook drive to the basket. Without him and inserting Ben McLemore, even though I like McLemore as a shooter, I think it's a downgrade for sure. Daniel House is out of this game, it looks like. So I think this is an under spot for me. Would be scared off a little bit, like Jay said, on the full game total, just because it has been ticking upward a little bit. But I think the first half is an easy underplay, and I like the first quarter almost just as much on the under.
Yeah, I like that. I'm telling you guys, man, these type of games have playoff feels. I don't care how good the two offensive teams is when they meet up, you know what I'm saying? And it's a potential, you know what I'm saying, obviously top of upper echelon matchup. The defense intensity is high, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see them running fast pace. You see them running fast court offense. Half court offense, you know what I'm saying, trying to get the best shot, man. Defenses are pretty much set then. The Clippers have a very underrated defense. They kind of been pissing me off this year because they don't always show it, or their offense, when Lou Williams and when the second team gets in, they start pushing the pace. But the first unit, they don't really push the pace. You know what I'm saying? With Kawhi, they let Kawhi be methodical about it, run plays. They don't really push the pace. But when Lou Williams and Harrell get in there, run that pick and roll, they start pushing the pace up and down the court, and it pisses me off every time, man, because they're really an under team, but the first unit is an under team, but the second unit is over. It's kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of crazy there. Clippers have covered 5 straight. They're 5-0 ATS past 5 games, and 4 or 5 straight up. Only lost to the Bucks there. So they've been playing well of late. The Rockets are 4-0 last 4 and 4-1 ATS with the only one, you know what I'm saying, with the last bucket versus the Pelicans. So to me, they're really 4-0 ATS past 4. It just seems like a toss-up, man. Both teams playing well of late, you know what I'm saying? Nobody on the back-to-back, but like you say, like George said, I mean, that Eric Gordon injury is big to me, man. And Daniel House Jr. as well, he's not going to be in this game. They still missing Gerald Green. I mean, I really think this Rockets team would be different if they had everybody, man. Paul George, I don't think he's going to play tonight. He'll probably play tomorrow. You don't really want to come in and versus a fold like this. I mean, it'll be nice for headlines, but it's first game back. You don't want to come in and play the Rockets, man. You just don't. And if he did play, that would make me like the under even more, man. It's just another defender in there. He's one of the best wing defenders in the league. If I was taking this game, I'd be riding with Jordan, man. Like you say, even because the Rockets, they seem to push the tempo even more in the second half. So that first quarter and first half should be a damn good look. That's a good look by you, Jordan. That's the only way I would look at this game, and I might have to ride with you on that.
I would be surprised, I think, if Paul George doesn't play tonight, because I think they'd rather hold him out tomorrow against a worse team. Exactly. But that's just my opinion. I have no idea what's going to happen, obviously. But I do agree with you. I think if PG plays, I think that just helps the under even more. Exactly.
Let's go ahead and get into another one of these games. A game that I like. I was looking at from yesterday. Not going to touch on it too much, but we do have pretty much the number one power rated team in the league here in action again tonight, man. And they've been whooping up on everybody. You know what I'm saying? The Celtics and the Wizards. We got IT going back to the Garden over there once again. You know what I'm saying? Not a big fan of him, but you know what I'm saying? It is going to be storylines. That's when he was you know what I'm saying, a force to be reckoned with when he was with the Celtics over there. Since a lot of injuries, hadn't really been the same, but some tells me that the Wizards get up for this game tonight, man. And it was too many points. This game opened at 11 and they got bid down to 9. I'm talking about almost immediately, man. You know what I'm saying? They pounced on it. I was thinking there was too many points. It's down to 8 already now. The Celtics have won 8 straight in a row and covered the past 3. It's not really a team that you know what I'm saying, look to get ahead of. And I can definitely understand people passing in this one. This is just a spot where I think that they don't take the Wizards as serious. And I think that I think the Wizards can and sneak in this one, man. If you got it somewhere around 10, that was damn good. The 8 now, I don't know. I can't, to be honest, it's tough to win. You know what I'm saying? The line moves so much. I saw getting value with the Wizards with double digits. That 8, it's a little different. Not saying that it's going to land 9 or something. I mean, a lot would have to go wrong for you to not cover the 8. You know what I'm saying? Cover 10, but it is possible. And when betting with an underdog, you want, especially with one you know that they're not going to win, you want as many points as possible, man. But any thoughts on this game, guys? Or if you guys want, we could talk about the Timberwolves and Spurs. So if you don't have anything on this game, Junior and Jordan, we can get to the Timberwolves and Spurs.
No, I got nothing on this one.
This is one of my official plays. I got the Celtics. I don't like Washington in this spot at all. I'm going to tell you right away, though, when I saw the line, I saw the opening line at 11.5. I saw I got bet down to 9, and I was kind of hesitant to bet on it. But then I just thought about the two rosters and the way these teams go about their business. The Celtics look like they're a well-oiled machine. They're about to go on a 5-game West Coast road trip, I believe. And if you look at the Wizards' last 3 losses, they lost by 13 at home to the Cavs. They lost by 15 on the road to the Pacers and lost by 22 at home to Minnesota. I don't really see any reason why they wouldn't be able to smack these guys around. Like I said, they've just been rolling. I've watched their last couple of games, and it seems pretty easy, especially when if Kemba's is rolling, then they're going to be in business for a long time until someone can slow him down. I just like the Celtics in this spot because I think the Wizards are trending down right now. They've had a lot of guys overachieve. Like if your second best player is Hachimura, maybe in a couple years, even like the next 2 years, that's good. But if you're talking about like right now, I just think that you're asking guys. Thomas Bryant has played amazing for Thomas Bryant. But again, these are the guys they're relying on. I think the Celtics can shut down all those guys. So I lean Celtics. I took him at 9. I took him at 8. It keeps going. If it keeps going down, I'm gonna keep hitting it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm looking at. It keeps going down. That's the only thing, though. It looks too easy. And I'm not saying that it's not gonna cash, but that seems to be, what I'm saying, how the books get people, man. But I mean, hey, like I say, at this number, I wouldn't take the Wizards plus the points. I need 10, 11 points to take the Wizards in this spot. They have been pesky in certain games. I mean, their defense isn't. This is definitely the tale of tales here. The Celtics one of the top defenses and offenses, and the Wizards. I mean, their offensive efficiency has been there because of the high scoring games. The defense, bottom 5 in the league, definitely worries. Definitely will have to worry one here. But that's the thing right there. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, Celtics." Boom, they're going to catch this. Wizards suck, Celtics good. It's going to be easy. Celtics might win. It's about how much, though. You know what I'm saying? The Wizards, they could be pesky in these type of games. You look at their lineup. I mean, I've been overlooking them pretty much all year, and then there's games where I'm like, oh, damn, Thomas Bryant don't look too bad. Oh, damn, if somebody's not really playing Bill out there, he can go for 40 on any night. Hachimura is going to have pull up. He's shooting threes. It's a scrappy team, man. It seems like they're where their record doesn't necessarily say it. You see them play, how they play scrappy. Yeah, the past 3 games look absolutely terrible. The guy added motivation for here. IT gonna come to play here in the Garden. It's one that at this definitely current number, I'm staying away from. Wizards at the plus 10, I'm taking the Wizards in that spot all day. It's just 2 points, but it could go a long way. On the Spurs and Minnesota spot, not a whole lot on this one. I can tell you that the Spurs have owned the Timberwolves of late. This is a new Timberwolves team, and it's definitely a new Spurs team. They looking old as hell, man. But this is a spot where I'm going to tell you true. I mean, it's a Spurs spot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real big on spots because sometimes it doesn't really matter the stats. If a team's been losing 3-4 straight games and, you know what I'm saying, it's time for them to win. I know a lot of people don't like the do factor, but it's true, especially in the NBA. It's all about spots. You could have one of the greatest teams, and if they don't give a damn that night, they could lose straight up. Anybody can lose straight up. You see what the Grizzlies when it did to the Spurs in the last game. I'm sure that was embarrassing for them at the house. Tony Parker retirement night. You end up losing a game to one of the youngest teams in the league. You know what I'm saying? Upstart team. Didn't have a win on the road. You lost to them. Lost 2 straight games. The Spurs, man, they look tough right now, man. They're a pretty old team. This is one I'm staying away from, but I'll tell you guys, if I had to make a bet, I would be taking the Spurs in this spot. If I had a free bet. Any look on this game, Jordan?
I'm leaning towards the first quarter total on this one and betting the over just because overall this season the Wolves had the fastest first quarter pace at about 109 possessions per 48 minutes, and their offense has been very good in first quarters as well. And the Spurs have just really not looked that great in the first quarter, but they have played a little bit faster as compared to their first half and their full game numbers. So if I did make a play on this one, it'd probably be the first quarter over. I think it's at 54.5 or 55 right now. That may just be a little bit too low, but I think this is one of those games where I might end up staying away from the sides because I'm not a Spurs fan. I'd rather fade the Spurs here than bet on them, but I just can't trust the Wolves here yet. I do like the Wolves as a team, but I think they've overachieved slightly to begin the year, and I think they are a regression candidate. So probably a game I'm going to lay off the sides, but if I did have to make a play on this one, it would be the first quarter over.
Any look on this game, Junior?
No, I can't get involved with anything to do with the San Antonio Spurs. I was watching that Memphis game. They were down 14 points late in the third quarter. They were down a lot of points in that game. They just don't look right to me. They look slow. They don't shoot a lot of threes, which has worked for them for the last couple of years, which is kind of weird because if you think back to the last days of Duncan when they beat the Heat in the finals, they were jacking up a ton of threes. Like they were one of the first teams to really be jacking up threes, and now that everyone jacks threes, they don't shoot threes. So I don't like. I said yesterday, I stayed away from that game yesterday because it's like LaMarcus Aldridge looks old. He didn't even play bad yesterday, but I just don't like the whole vibe and the aura around this team right now. They're definitely a stay away for team for me for the near future until I can figure out what this team is about.
Right, yeah, you mentioned not shooting three-pointers. They don't have no shooters over there, really. You know what I'm saying? DeMar DeRozan, he a mid-range king. He ain't shooting no threes, man. But like I say, no official play for me. It'll be interesting to see if Napier and T come back tonight. I mean, they've been out for 3-4 games now. You got to think one of them comes back. If the Timberwolves still don't have either one of their point guards, I'll have to take the under. I'll have to take the Spurs in this spot. But I know that Napier did get upgraded to questionable, so he's probably going to play. Not sure if T's going to play. Not that he's a big difference. But if they still have both of those out, man, I gotta take the Spurs in this spot and the under. Their offense looks totally different with obviously they're both point guards. You know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't? Let's go ahead and get into this last game. I do want to say something real quick about Toronto and Portland. We got Portland on the back-to-back. The Raptors off of a tough loss. They have been playing well. Portland does not look good right now whatsoever. It's Dame Lillard, then it's everybody else. Their role players are absolutely terrible. I watched this team last night versus the Kings. Kings locked them up with ease. What do you think the Raptors are going to do? Only thing that scares me with the under here, nobody really to stop Siakam. You know what I'm saying? Siakam should do whatever the hell he wants here in this particular game. I'm still liking the under 218 in this spot. I don't care what nobody says. In this Golden State and Lakers game, we've seen it move from 13 to -8, man. The Lakers in a tough spot here on the back-to-back. No Anthony Davis, which we already knew. If you've been paying attention, you know what I'm saying? His shoulder been killing him like the past 4 games. He hold it every single time he come down. Holding it and winces every single time he comes down the floor. Watching the game last night, I knew that he wasn't going to play today. Golden State, though, still pretty tough. I'll be honest with you guys. I do like them. You know what I'm saying? When it was at the +10, I did hop on them, but still no Spellman tonight. Damian Lee as well. You know what I'm saying? Their injury list is getting longer and longer. Not a fan of Draymond coming back in. D'Angelo Russell can keep them in any game. He will need to go off for 30 plus tonight for them to stay in this game. We've seen during the preseason, the Lakers can sit everyone, and they can still smash the Warriors. That worries me here. I did like the Warriors plus the 10. It's down to 8 now. It worries me. The Lakers are a very deep team. They will look different without AD. Makes me lean toward the under even more. But the Warriors, they don't past 5 went over. You know what I'm saying? I can't take the under in this spot, even though I lean the under. Lean the Warriors at plus the 10 at this particular number. I'm staying away, man. What's your look on this game, Jordan?
Yeah, I grabbed the Warriors at 10, grabbed them again at 9. Your public service announcement brought to you by Jammin' with J Money and the crew here is that the Lakers are not going to be that good tonight off the back-to-back, missing their best player. And yes, I did say it. Anthony Davis is their best player. 35, 36-year-old LeBron James, maybe 4 or 5 years ago would have been their best player, but he is not. He is their second best player. And I think the Warriors actually have – call me crazy, but I mean when they're keeping this within 2 or 3 possessions tonight, I don't think you're going to be calling me crazy. But the Warriors have the horses to really bother LeBron James. Glenn Robinson III is a plus defender. We know Draymond Green is going to get his looks on LeBron James tonight. Even Eric Paschall coming off the bench is probably going to get some chances to guard LeBron. If they can slow down, they don't even have to slow down LeBron tonight, to be honest. They could slow down the rest of the Lakers without Anthony Davis and win this game outright, in my opinion. Now, I don't think that's going to happen by any means because somebody from the Lakers is going to step up and have a good game. It's probably going to be Kuzma because I don't think he's on a minutes limit anymore. So he's going to see a lot of run in this game without Anthony Davis, and I'm a big fan of Kyle Kuzma. So if anything, I could really see the Warriors just keeping this one close and maybe even coming out with cash in the first quarter or the first half. But I got them on the full game just because without Davis, the Lakers are about 5 or 6 points worse on defense. I think that's going to come into play in this game. If the Warriors speed them up and the Lakers aren't an elite defense without Davis, which they are not, and they have some old guys running the center position in Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, who have both played fantastic this season. I'm not taking anything away from those guys. I know I got to get quick because we got to get out of here, but the Warriors are the play in this one here. I don't know about it 8.5, but I think I'd probably still hit them at 9 here, which you can get at a couple shops.
Any looks, Junior?
No, I got nothing on this game. Do you guys mind if I talk about the Raptors and Blazers real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I got Raptors +3. I say this every episode when the Blazers come out. Their front line is trash, guys. It's garbage. And Pascal Siakam is going to destroy these guys, but not just Pascal Siakam. The Raptors' strength is their forwards. None of their forwards other than Pascal Siakam are superstars, but they're a lot better than Mario Hezonja and the rest of these guys that the Blazers got out there. At this point, they got Kent Bazemore playing minutes at the small forward. Kent Bazemore's like 6'4", never been an efficient player. I'm completely off the Blazers. The Raptors play defense. They're ranked 5th in defensive efficiency right now. Damian Lillard might go off, possibly. CJ's been looking a little bit better. He played better recently, but they're coming off a back-to-back. The Raptors were in that game against the Clippers, but even though they only scored 10 points in the fourth quarter, that was like a 4-point game with just a couple of minutes left. So if the Raptors can go toe-to-toe with the Lakers and the Clippers, in my opinion, they're smacking up the Blazers right here. I've rarely bet on the Raptors. I say that every time because, as someone that used to go to their games and, I follow the team. I'm not a fan of any team. I'm a fan of money. But I rarely bet on the Raptors. And when I do, it's because I really feel I'm really confident that they'll take care of business in the spot. And if they don't, I'm taking the +3. I didn't take them on the money line because I didn't want to disrespect Portland because I know they got to go home crowd and all that. I just really love the Raptors here in this spot. I don't like anything about Portland right now.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, man. I might have to hop with you on that. If I take it, I'm taking the Raptors money line. The Blazers look ass right now, but they are at the house. Like I say, people call me crazy taking these unders in today's NBA. You see it move from 221 to 218. The Raptors are a defensive team. Offense isn't that good. Blazers offense is absolute ass right now. You shut down Lillard, this game will go way under. I'm liking the Warriors as well with Jordan. Like you say, if you could get 9 at the -8, I'm staying away from it, man. Really, the +10 was the number. And damn, the Magic moved to -2.5. Did I get there? I mean, shit, some people got it on the money line early. That's it for today, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys, hey, we recapped the plays. You know what I'm saying? Not too strong of a card, but hey, we'll be back tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, with even more plays. Let's cash today's picks, guys. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and jamming with J Money. I hope you guys come back tomorrow, man. We gone.